Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 8 and Third Reich events. It's good to be back to a game that I'm familiar with and not trying to learn, because I've been trying to learn another game a bit. Okay, now, in the last episode you saw that I clicked this event and it didn't do anything. And so I went and looked at the code, and it points to when you do this one, it fires an event for Finland. Well, the other event has, instead of is triggered only, remotely triggered by another event, it had a different series of conditions that also seem reasonable but different. So, which is it meant to be? So I went in and just is triggered only this way, so that we should get the event here. So I've artificially just fired this part, not the previous part. So then, yes, Finland will help us. We can either send an expeditionary force, which gives troops to Finland, but I don't trust the AI. We can have that, or they won't need help. We'll take loading the OOB, which will give us this. So we need to promote him. Maybe that was a mistake to try to promote him. I don't know why he isn't coming up. There he is. There we go. That was what I wanted to do. And we can attach that to Harris Group Nord, which will tie us into Deedle. Good. This will Fortress Brigades. I think it may have stripped away some of our other units, I don't know. Leadership. But we're not invading there just yet. And score. Okay, well, we're not invading just yet, so I'm going to leave those guys alone. Now, and we also have this other decision, since we have, and I'll also say that with the modded version we're playing is I removed the requirements for Italy to be losing for loading OOBs for North Africa. That's the only thing I changed in it, because historically Italy was going to, or the North Africa was going to be an Italian, or the Mediterranean I should say, was going to be an Italian theater. The south of France was under Vichy control, which was ostensibly neutral. Yugoslavia was an Axis ally, member of the Axis. Greece was neutral with a nationalist/fascist government. And Britain and, well, first obviously briefly with France, but then Britain and Italy were at war. Well, there was initial invasion along here that just basically a smaller British force surrounded, cut it off, and basically destroyed the formation and captured the great bulk of the troops. I think it was several divisions, and again, I'm going sort of from memory, but it was a nothing like this. This is way oversized, but it was a decent-sized invasion force that the smaller British were able to do with better surround and do with better leadership and motorization. I do understand, because if I understand correctly, well, a bunch of the Italian units were foot units moving in. So that put Italy sort of, not doing so well. And it continued to not doing so well. There was just some back and forth. But the British were picking up a lot of territory in the south, and I'm not sure just where along in here. I'd have to look at a map. The British had gotten to by the time Rommel was sent down into Tripoli here, basically to save Tripoli, and was set up, basically told to defend it. And as soon as they got the tanks and a bunch of the troops ashore, they held a military parade in which the tanks and for the parade went through the parade 3 times to try to show that there were 3 times as many tanks already landed, because they were landing. All the ships didn't show up on the same day. They were taking a while to land the troops. I don't quite know the schedule for landing them and getting to. Now this happened after Italy, like I was saying, was losing here. Mussolini decides to, instead of reinforcing a campaign not doing so well, he decided to widen the war by invading Greece. And after the invasion started, Germany was preparing to come in to aid him, because the Italians had actually lost some ground in here. I don't think they were anywhere in danger, really, of losing Albania, but they had lost some ground, and the I'm setting these guys up here. It was clear that there wasn't going to be an easy victory, and what really prompted German intervention was British intervention. The British were doing fairly well, and this was also another maybe stupid move. The British were doing fairly well in North Africa. Higher command, I'm not exactly sure whether it was back in Alexandria, because that's where the command was more than Cairo, or whether it was in London. But there was a decision made to support the Greeks and send troops. So troops that were preparing to be sent to take on the Italians in North Africa were diverted to help in Greece. And that politically is a great move, in that you're helping an ally out who's being hammered. And so you gain a hopefully loyal ally. But I presume, excuse me, that the British knew that they weren't going to win in Greece, particularly if Germany got into the battle there. They knew it was a doomed fight. That's very clear. So by trying, they knew they weren't going to be able to save Greece. But by going in and trying, they, supported an ally, showed that they cared. As they did, they evacuated a lot of Greek troops. Now most of them were evacuated to Crete, which were then later taken by the Germans. So it probably, from a military standpoint of winning the war, probably was not the best move, because quite likely the troops that were sent to Greece, had they vigorously attacked the Italians at the time, they might have been able to have driven the Italians out of North Africa. And in doing so, I don't think the Germans or the Italians were really prepared at the time to reinvade Africa. Primarily, not because they couldn't get the wherewithal together to do it, but primarily because Germany was preparing to invade the Soviet Union. This was just a minor nuisance, sideshow, war in the colonies kind of things to the Germans, so that they weren't overly concerned about that. Again, I think this is a strategic flaw in Hitler's thinking, and not in all there were several, and I can't name them right now, but there were several fairly high up people in the German military establishment that wanted to secure the Mediterranean first. But most weren't Mediterranean centric, and Hitler was focused on moving east. So that didn't, it was never the focus. Now this is where I'm changing the script, if you will, in going with a Mediterranean focus here. So that we should see, realistically, the idea that a counter invasion would work, like we've done with a couple airborne divisions here, with a prepared reinforcement immediately following. That works. And they could have obviously done that, to here. If the British were trying to hold the whole coastline, you could, come across from Sicily. You can come, once you take Crete, you can come to here and gain, the Tobruk port, or if a bit longer via sea or air, but you get Benghazi. As a way, if you get Benghazi and there's a, fairly big British army here, you just, going to be able to come in and cut it off from resupply. So the British were in a vulnerable position had they won there. So, with my strategic outlook of the Mediterranean, and then later with Tanganyika trying to move into former German colonies and shutting them down, like I said, I've re-edited the events to give the units. They still have all of the penalties for supply and other things that represent the cost of the units. They're not meant to be free units or gift units, but just I want to get the Africa Corps units, which are a little better for Africa and the desert. I want to have the interesting flavor units that are there as part of it, so we are going to have the Deutsches Afrika Korps, the DAK. And very nice picture there of Rommel. Let's see, we can send troops. See, again, here's the penalties. Give troops to Italy. I want the troops. We can just send supplies. Cost no need. Okay, we're going to send troops. So we will have the cost until September 41 minus 2.5% of supply or of ICs and 5% supplies. Lose some manpower. So this is costing us. Like I say, these aren't free units, and that should actually give us the Afrika Korps. So that's one of the reasons I didn't send Rommel, the division that Rommel was commanding here, because the 7th, his division that he commanded in France, is because he was going to be disappearing on us to there, and I was going to have to put a new commander in charge, which would do this to it, and I didn't want to have 3/4 of its organization just immediately disappear. Okay, we're going to disconnect the Italians. strategically redeploy them that far forward. We'll try to drive the rest of the way. Hopefully all my commanders here are still in command. Okay, that's good. Well done event, OOBs like Black Ice does, like German Graphical Augmentation Mod does, as well as TRE does. Don't just give stuff away free, unless there's a real reason for it, you know, captured equipment or similar sorts of things, and then yes, free. Okay, historical core historical axis. That's because we just got Finland in, so national revolt risk is down by 2%. National manpower, yes, volunteers coming in from various other nations as well. IC's 2%. Better trade, better trade and industry with all of these wares, better supplies, a little bit more money, some leadership coming in, territorial pride up. I guess we've got a lot of good allies. Espionage bonus, because again we're dealing with the espionage coordinated with all of the other nations. That all sounds good. Unit recruitment time minus 1%. That I don't mind, but don't see why. Ruling party support, yeah, that seems good. Again, we have lots of allies. People love us. Research efficiency, obviously we're talking to other nations. IC efficiency, coordination, yeah, it's all supply throughput. That all seems very good and very reasonable. Okay, finally, mechanized infantry. This is one thing that with sort of Hearts of Iron, and it's not Black Ice, Black Ice that causes, they've sort of inherited it and can continue to use it. Most of the half-tracks, including the armored half-track types and the prime mover half-tracks, were well into production prior to the war. I mean, we can get pictures of them operating in Poland, and so this sort of need to research this sort of so late, I sort of disagree with. Now, I don't know. Maybe the key is to give it some bonuses or something, but it does open up this. So we're going to have that switch down to there. Oh, we also have more leadership because of crap. So we just got that. And I really don't know how different the thinking, research, whatnot needs to go on. The idea that, oh, we can put troops in armored vehicles instead of just unarmored trucks. Do that. Get that going. We need to upgrade lots of units there. And I'm pounding right here because I want to make sure I got air power. So I want to get these guys out without having to tangle with a significant enemy force. I also shifted some. Okay. Submarines. Often you have to And if we do tangle with them, this will at least hopefully give us a good amount of air power. Okay. You know, I'm going to move also down our special reconnaissance unit. Move them down to here. Because I want to see if we can drop parachute like into Cairo to see how well it's defended. And I don't want to do it on blind faith. Okay, send you guys across. Okay, wings aerodynamics is advanced. That's good. So let's see, we can do holding wings, but we don't have any carriers yet. Maybe we should start building some carrier airplanes, though. How is our production on the carrier? Okay, the Graf Zeppelin. 43 is still a long ways off, so I don't need to produce any carrier fighters. Air cooling system, that looks like it would be a good technology to have. Okay, it looks like we need to... Okay, we've got a bunch of divisions. Light infantry for going into Russia. A few more. There. Additional units there. Bunch of panzer divisions. Let's build a couple of more semi-motorized infantry division type. Okay, now we have half-track support. Cool. Not for this unit though, but... And, what am I forgetting? We got artillery, anti-tank, reconnaissance, no anti-aircraft. I'm not planning on that, I don't think, with this unit. Yeah, we'll add some rocket artillery. I know I haven't had the... I think there's still a couple of more free HQ units, or, you know, available, I should say, HQ units, to give them a historical. So, a couple of those divisions. So these guys down here to secure the flank. Okay, well I guess we're gonna see about risking this. It's risky. We don't know if they're ordered to intercept or anything. Okay, well, Italians are on that a little bit. send them a glare striking just in case as well. I want to take out Kairos. Cut them off. These guys should be here, and we're gonna let's just air superiority. I don't want to bomb it. I know the bombers it won't fight at all. Well, I guess that means there's... Oh. Okay, coal to oil conversion has advanced. That is very useful. It will improve our oil situation. Now it's just up to 9% total. Improvement, not too much, but it helps. Got all of those going. Should we research nukes? Not yet. We can wait till we get some more resources for that. We'll do that, protect our navies. Very valuable. Okay, landing craft flotilla is also advanced. It would be these, and we don't want to push that too far. Okay, we'll improve that. Okay, let's see if we can take Cairo. I think it's empty. Born assault. Uh-oh, see? We lost some other. To subs or something, I'm not quite sure what hit us. Okay, aircraft prototype evaluation has advanced. That's here. Torpedo bombers, I guess. We want our CAGs to be fairly well off. Oh. Don't know why. Lack of fuel? Well, we're going to cancel that because I think we're going to take Cairo without it. We're going to get across the river there. I'm getting ready to attack there, but I want to get Cairo. Thought I sent you down there. Oh, good. These guys now. They're just going to hold there for the moment. Okay, I think we're going to end the episode here. We're doing very well. I'll see you next time with more continuing conquest of Egypt. So, see you next time. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for liking the videos. Please post comments. I really do like hearing from you guys.